Hi guys, I'm Sylvie. So I recently just picked up the new Patrick Ta blush shade in Not Too Much. So I decided I better do an updated version of blushes I love for medium brown and olive skin tones. So I'm going to show you all my favorites today, including this new beautiful blush shade from Patrick Ta. But before we go ahead, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date with more content. So I'm going to apply one blush on one cheek and one blush on the other cheek, just to save a little bit of time and also so that I can give you guys a bit of a comparison between similar toned blushes. So the first one is MAC Mineralized Blush in Sweet Enough. Probably try to apply more than I normally do just so you guys can see the actual blush. This one is a beautiful neutral pink. It's a little bit on the warmer side, but not too much. I love the mineralized blushes. It is a baked blush, so it has a really smooth finish. It's got a slight sheen to it, but not like shimmery particles. It's just very naturally glowing. I love the hints of lavender undertone that this one has. Next one is the Dior Rosy Glow. I don't care how many people have said that there's a dupe for this. I personally have not seen any, like even on the videos and reviews, there's always a slight undertone difference. Like in the pan, it literally looks a little bit like a neon lavender, and I've never seen a shade like this before in the pan or on the face. This is going to be your cool toned pink blush. This is the coolest toned powder pink blush that I have, and it gives you like the stunning baby doll look. It's also a really smooth formula. I feel like it just blurs out my skin. Next one is Essence, the blush in the shade Believing. When I realized that cool tone blushes look so good on medium olive skin tones, I picked up this purpley blush, and I've never tried a purple blush before this one, but I was so stunned with how soft and vibrant it makes medium olive skin tones look. Again, I layered on a heavier amount than I normally would wear because I want you guys to be able to see the color, but even then it's just so soft and it's unbelievably affordable. Next, I have another purple tone blush, and that is this purple Hourglass blush in the shade Mood Exposure. I have this in my ambient lighting leopard palette, but you can get this individually also in the mini and the regular sizes. The Hourglass blushes are also baked, so they go on so smoothly, and they have a natural luminosity to them as well. Just so you guys know, I am cleaning off my brushes in between, so I'm not getting color transfer. So here are the two purple blushes side by side. As you can see, the Essence one has a little bit more warmth in the purple undertone. But yeah, love me a purple undertone blush. The next one has been a favorite in my collection for so many years, and it is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. This is definitely a bit more on the coral undertone. I'm usually not the biggest fan of peachy coral blushes because I feel like they kind of make my skin look really dull, but I love a coral blush with a pinky undertone, which this one definitely has. It also has these gold shimmery flecks, so you really get this almost highlighted look, but it's not super blinding. This is just the most beautiful summery vibrant flush. I'm gonna build it up a bit more. But I love using this on days where I don't feel like using a highlighter, and it just gives me that unreal glow. The next one is also from Hourglass, and it is the shade Ethereal Flush. This one also has that pinky coral undertone. It's definitely not going to be as shimmery as my Wet n Wild one, but it still has a really healthy glow. Unfortunately, I think this shade is exclusive to this Hourglass palette, but they do have, I think, a couple other shades that are similar, and I'll list them down below in the description box for you guys. So these are the two pinky corals that I have and love in my collection. I have one more powder blush to show you guys, and I recently got this one. It's the e.l.f. Bite Size Blush Duo in the shade Watermelon. I'm not really a fan of the highlighter side. I find it ends up a little bit too ashy looking on my face. Like, it's pretty frosty, which is so weird because it looks peachy in the pan. But otherwise, this watermelon shade is so pretty. It is probably the most nude, like almost beigey blush that I have in my collection. But I love it for this natural soft flush. I don't know why it's showing up really shimmery here. Okay, so I guess it does have a little bit of sheen to it, which is so weird because you can't really tell that in the pan. Like, it looks really matte, and I'm pretty sure I haven't transferred any shimmer from the other side, but it's still giving me this crazy sheen. That's so weird. I've never noticed it before in person. Maybe it's the amount of lights that I have going on. I just turned off one of my lights so you can see better, but yeah, you get this really lovely natural looking nude with slightly a hint of pink blush. I'm shocked by how smooth and lovely this one is, and it's so cheap. It's like $4. So yeah, loving the shade for natural days. So moving on to creams now on the other cheek. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Blush one in the shade Rosé You Slay. This one I actually find to be kind of pigmented, so I'll just start off with a little bit. Okay, so I forgot I actually like to take it from the back of my hand, otherwise it gets a little bit hard to get an even application. So I'm just gonna work it into the brush first. Oh yeah, that's a much better application. So I would always advise never to go in with a liquid brush right on your face if you can help it. Always blend it out on the back of your hand and you get a way more even application. That is the most stunning glowy blush ever. With a little bit more. I hear that this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury glowy blush that she has in the wand. I have no idea. I've never tried that one before, but this is so pretty. I would not doubt that this one is very, very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one, but oh my gosh, it just makes you look unreal. Actually, it's so weird that this powder blush from e.l.f. looks very similar in finish to this liquid one, but one's a powder, one's a liquid. This one is definitely a more warm pink shade. I think this is the warmest that I would go in a blush, but I love what a romantic like sun-kissed glow that gives you. And it's really easy to sheer out or build up, so definitely go out and get this one if you haven't already. Next, I have the cream blushes that got me into cream blushes, and they are the e.l.f. Putty Cream Blushes. I have the shades Turks and Caicos and Bora Bora here. Turks and Caicos is again that like pinky corally shade, and Bora Bora is a very cool pink shade, so you get that baby doll look. There was another one of these that I loved that was my favorite in the shade Maldives, which is like this deep burgundy red that gave you the most amazingly flush cheek that looked like you were actually blushing, which is insane. But that one I show in my video from last year, so do go check that out. So I'm gonna go in with the Turks and Caicos first. For some reason, I powdered my face before I'm going in with these blushes. I don't know why. But anyway, they should still probably work fine. But I just usually like to stipple on my cream or liquid blushes, stipple them on so they don't actually rub any of the makeup off. But do you see that color? It's so pretty. It blended out so seamlessly. I love this blush formula, and it also really makes a difference what kind of brush you're using for this formula. They are this sort of like a unique putty texture, so I find using like a dense foundation type brush really helps to blend it out and smooth it so that you don't have any weird patchiness for it. I'm so glad that I'm doing this video because I haven't used these blushes in a long time and I forgot how stunning they are. I just absolutely love this color. You can sheer it out or build it out. In fact, I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more to show you guys how lovely this shade is. There you go. Like if the shade was any warmer, I feel like it would just make my face look really dull, but because it has again that pinky coral undertone, it's just making me glow. And then I'm gonna go in with Bora Bora on the other side. I feel like I remember this one being more pigmented. Actually no, I feel like it's about the same depth, but just because it's a brighter blush, I feel like it does show up a little bit easier. So I forgot that the thing I love most about this formula is that the shades always look like they belong on your face when you put them on. Like they just melt into your skin. They don't look too pigmented or too little pigmented. I've also seen reviews of this on much darker skin, like deeper skin, and they still pop so beautifully while maintaining this natural look. That's Bora Bora. It just gave me this beautiful baby doll look. I feel like this shade would be a really good dupe to probably one of the Patrick Ta pink blush shades. I mean, this is a different texture, but gosh, this blends out so easily. And then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more to build it up, show you how pigmented it can actually get. Isn't that stunning? Like, frick, I should wear this so much more. I'm gonna move these to my top shelf container so that I get way more use out of these. 4 more blushes to go, so let me go wipe my face off so we can do this again. Next is, wait for it, another e.l.f. blush. Guys, e.l.f. is just killing it year after year. At the end of last year, they just came out with these camo liquid blushes. This is in the shade Dusty Rosé, and I got this shade because I saw that they were quite pigmented, so I wanted to get as light of a shade as possible because I know otherwise I will never use it up, and also then I can be heavy-handed and not have to worry about it. This one I do dot on my face, and I'll just show you guys from that little bit what happens. So I have remembered not to set my face with powder. Actually, that's not too bad. That's actually really natural. I feel like usually I go a little bit overboard, but you seriously just have to do the tiniest dot. And it's so pigmented. Alright, so that's not too bad. I feel like normally I go really overboard with it, but I'm just gonna go in with a bit more generous amount. And this actually really makes me happy because that means I can go a little bit more ham with it and it looks just fine. So here is Dusty Rosé. It blends out like a dream. It's so fluid and it doesn't go patchy at all, and it's just buttery and beautiful. I know a lot of people are saying or wondering if this is a dupe to the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Blush. I think that they're very similar. Thankfully, the next blush that I'm going to try is a Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Blush. So let's move on to that one and then we can talk about these two. So for the Rare Beauty one, I have the shade Hope. In the Soft Pinch one, I have the sample right here. Here are the two shades in comparison. They are of a similar depth, but definitely different undertones. Dusty Rosé is a bit more neutral and Hope is definitely a bit more pink. So I'm going to do the same on this side, just dot it on. Yeah, this one's definitely way more pigmented at first go. That's so funny because I felt like the e.l.f. one was more pigmented, but again, I think maybe the shade makes a difference. Actually, no, yeah, the Rare Beauty one was definitely more pigmented at first go because I feel like I put the e.l.f. one, like I dotted it on a few times, and this was just like a couple tiny dots, and I got about the same depth as the e.l.f. one. So difference off the bat is Rare Beauty seems to be more pigmented, and also very obviously to me it blended out just a bit faster than the e.l.f. one. I feel like the e.l.f. one gets slightly tacky and it kind of sets down, whereas the Rare Beauty one, you really have time to work with it. And yeah, I mean, they're both really beautiful. You can't really tell the difference in the finish, but yeah, the e.l.f. one is a little bit thicker in consistency, where the Rare Beauty one is a bit more fluid. But they're both stunning shades. Again, Dusty Rosé is definitely more nude, but still a little bit pink, so I love that. And Hope is more pink, but it is just a beautiful, flirty, romantic pink. Okay, and moving on to the final two blushes. Okay, so last but not least, the moment we've all been waiting for. Patrick Ta Blush Duo in Not Too Much. And I'm going to be putting this one up against my all-time favorite blush formula and shade, Ease Blushing. It takes me a lot to jump on any new releases. Like, it has to be really special to me. And even with Patrick's last shades that he released, they were so beautiful, but nothing really jumped out in a way that it was like, oh, I have to have it. I'm just gonna go right in as I speak because I'm running out of time and space. But this one seemed like the perfect, like, nude pink blush, and just so perfect for spring. And his other two looked amazing and beautiful as well, and I think I would have loved to try the coral shade. I just love how his blushes, this is the powder, by the way, I do the powder first, but I love how they blend out. They're so smooth, they're just completely flawless, and they build up pigment amazingly. Like, this is such a soft looking blush on the pan, but you can get so much pigment out of it, and it's not like it's punchy all at once. It just builds up. This is my favorite blush formula of all time. honestly, even just the powder. And then here is She's Blushing in comparison. I know that She's Blushing is, ooh, like definitely more pigmented. I went too overboard with that. So let me just blend that out. And did you see how easy it was to blend that out as well? Like, his products just do the work for you. I mean, this is why I love Patrick Ta makeup so much. Let me just go ahead and blend that out. So here are the two at first glance. This is Not Too Much and She's Blushing. You can't tell too much of a difference right now, except She's Blushing definitely was way more pigmented. All right, going in with the cream for Not Too Much. Oh yeah, that's definitely more of a pink undertone. And here is She's Blushing. Oh yeah, again, way more pigmented. So here are the two blushes. It's so funny, on camera they both look pretty pink, but I did a reel in natural light and Not Too Much is definitely more pink than She's Blushing. So I just turned the warmth down for my light so you can better see the undertone. So here's Not Too Much and She's Blushing. So I feel like She's Blushing definitely has that burnt red tone to it, and Not Too Much is like a more nude pink. I'll quickly give you some swatches. Here is the powder of Not Too Much and the cream, and here is She's Blushing powder and cream. So definitely a bit more pigmented. Like for the cream, it does have that reddier undertone. So yeah, very subtle. But can you guys see the differences? I would say go to my Instagram or my TikTok and check out the comparisons that I've made there, because it's so much more clear in natural light. I hope that was informative and that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what blushes you guys are loving right now. Let me know if there's something that I'm missing that you think I should try. See you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.